What's cracking? I am Nick Danger. You are now tuned into the Art of MV. Do me a favor, check out my blog, The Art of MV, on IG. Check out The Art of MV on YouTube. And do me a favor, let me know what you thought of the video. And let's get cracking on this, man. So today I got the three things that the MV8000 8800 does that makes it a super sampler. The three ways that it captures audio that makes it a super sampler. Starting with the phrase sampler. But before I get to that, if you peep the video in the trailer, it's going to be the second installment in the Art of MV, the MV theory, which is my MV theory on how we got here and what the MV is. Like I said, man, my streams and my videos are more informative than they are instructional, because I'm just fascinated about how this unit came to be. And the MPC has a lot to do with any instrument with the 4x4 16 pad layout, the MV included. But the MV holds a special kind of place in that competition, because the MV versus MPC competition is just another level of the S-Series sampler competition between Roland and the Kai Professional, starting with the S-Series samplers, which were then later embedded into the MV8000 and MPC 4000. And the effect that has had on the producer community, even to this day, is still being felt. You still have the comparisons between the MPC and the MV8000 and the SP and the Native Instruments machine, all based around a concept. And that's what we're going to cover on the MV theory next time. So go check that out. The link is in the comment section, man. I hope you enjoyed the video. This particular video I'm going to get into real quick is going to be, basically, I'm going to show you guys the three ways that the MV captures audio that makes this thing into a super sampler compared to most samplers. So, as you can see, I'm greeted with the audio phrase edit screen. Now, this part of the MV is basically an SP on steroids. You have the regular SP triggers, which you usually get with the pads, gate, trigger, and drum, right? You have loop mode, whether or not you want to keep looping, same as an SP, but you also have a bass note tempo, which means you can basically, like the SP, depending on the length of the sample, the bass note you choose. Pay attention to right here. As I move it, see how it goes to 198? So, you know, this is a way of time stretch, and we'll get into that a little bit later. We'll get into that just a little bit later. Then you have the starting point, loop point, end point, but you also have these coarse tune, fine tune, same thing as an SP down here with the reverse. Then you have another way to BPM. You can BPM sync it or time stretch it with several different settings, 1 through 10, and you have the option to make it part of an exclusive group, aka a mute group. Then you can chop it. You have commands to make it where you can normalize it upon income. Upon when it's incoming, and you can set it to a mono. You can set it to a mono signal instead of a could collapse it into a mono wave, as I did here, instead of having it in stereo, which saves you space on your MV, right? Sample edit right here, which means you can preview it, and you can actually chop the sample either via the numbers or just simple drag and drop features like this. Simple DAW type editing, you know what I mean? This is your window. This is the window we all wish the SP had. This is what they gave the 404 Mark II. They gave it this sample profile where you can edit it like this, right? And this is exactly the same thing, right? So let's move on to the main sample engine. The main sample engine, this one, the partial edit menu, all right? In the partial edit menu, you have the ADSR, you have the SMT table, which is Roger's place to live at. Roger the Mini Maniac, shout out to that guy. You got to be on the esoteric level to mess with this part. I don't deal with that part. I still deal with all of this though. Once again, you got the exclusive group. You can make it into a one shot. You got an independent delay, chorus, and reverb send for the pad. The same one you would have for your actual tracks. You have a actual send for the pad and whatever sound occupies that pad. You can change the shape of the LFO from a sine to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different ways you can shape the sound, literally. Coarse and fine pitch. With that pitch, you got the depth and the individual pan of the pitch, and you have filter and amp controls down here as well. The sample edit, just like you had on the other screen, right? But each pad and each sound also has its own band pass filter, low pass filter, and high pass filter, right? Its own pan. And this is all for just the sound that occupies this pad, right? Whatever pad that you may have. This pad, that pad, that pad, that pad, all have access to this for whatever sound is on that pad. Not the track, the pad. That is an insane amount of control for just a sampler, right? You open up the filter screen, boom. I mean, I don't know what all these things mean, but a friend of mine just told me, you open up a menu and you start turning knobs and listen. And that's what you have to do. But this is how deep the MV gets when it comes to self-sound design and the way it handles sound. And this, my friend, is the power of the S770. All right, so let's move on to the next part. Now, if you check this out, the third way that it handles sound is up here, the audio tracks. So right now I just have a loop over here that I recorded, this is what's coming here. So now this is a neat trick I like to do with my MV as far as sampling, and then I'm going to let you guys go and get on out of here. So if I was to solo the actual part, the synth part that's coming in, I'm going to give you the dry signal. Now this is the same riff dry, and what I did was, upon sampling it, because I wanted it to have more space, I just added the 4-button chorus and sent a little bit of the signal to the reverb and the chorus. I mean the reverb and delay in the on the mixer, and I sampled it just like that. And I kept the wet signal on the audio track, so I have the MIDI data and the sound coming in inside the MV here, but I also have the first sample sampled, the keys sampled right here. As you can hear, as I blend the wet and the dry signal together, I get that bigger, more airy feel because of the 4-button chorus and the amount that I sent to the reverb delay. And this is a cool way you can always sample what you're doing in the MV. You have 8 audio tracks, and that's not including the pattern track here. You have 8 audio tracks to record audio, and you can record it linearly, like linear. So that means you can just record how much you want. Once you record that lick, you just simply click on it. It's an audio event parameter, right? Copy as an audio phrase. Once you copy it as an audio phrase, you can download it or set it up into the 770, and you'll have all those other things that I mentioned to you before as an option for the sound. This is just one of the ways that makes the MV8000 into a super sampler, not unlike the AS-R10. And that is what I have for you guys today, man. Try to dig into the sampler. They say, and this is not me saying this, it's quoted somewhere that the S770 does things and sounds better than most professional DAW samplers, man. So get into your MV, man, and come check me out at The Art of MV in the comments, the links below. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you soon. Later.